Northside Weezy in this motherfucker. What's tracking, man? Listen, welcome to the first episode of Like Father, Like Son podcast. Yes, this is my daddy, this is my pa. You finna learn a lot about this nigga on this first episode. So this first episode, I'm really just finna introduce y'all to him. Then from now, we're gonna do it how we do it. But first of all, everything we saying, we not glorifying the life we live or the things we done. We just taking a trip down memory lane and telling war stories. You feel me? Like we just soldiers of the streets. Niggas who been to war tell their stories. We telling our stories, just our wars in the concrete jungle, doing what we got to do, fighting against motherfucking progress and shit. But anyway, with all that being said, what's your first step? What's up, nigga?
Here's what's going on, man. You got to realize when you get a certain age that your brain is a treasure, man.
Oh yeah.
You got to realize that. And I'm gonna say this right here. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate
but now,
appreciate
on
that.
the other tip, you got to learn to be proud of your heritage.
Okay, and that's a good way to come in. I like that.
Right.
Gotta be proud of your heritage.
Yeah.
So we finna start with this motherfucking heritage. Y'all finna learn a lot about me while you learning about him. So this finna be a one-way, two-way street. So nigga, you born like 1970.
In the 1970s,
Yeah,
man.
nigga born 1970.
Yeah.
You an old nigga.
All right, but ain't no telling when my grandma was born, and that's where I got a lot of knowledge from, man.
Okay, that's too far back though. We'll talk about me in a minute.
No, we got,
You feel?
you know.
Let's talk about where you born at. When you born, where you born at?
Collegeville.
Collegeville, USA.
3121 31st Avenue, North Collegeville, Alabama.
Yeah. Real Collegeville.
Across the street from Pruitt Filling Station.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So our heritage in Collegeville, what's our heritage? Because you speaking on my deal.
Yeah,
what's our heritage? It go that deep, like we super Collegeville?
Yeah, super Collegeville. You know, I was proud to be called Little Dillers of Miss Annie Grandboy.
Oh yeah.
She ran the joint called Silver Dollar, man.
Across the street from 29th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
facts,
exactly.
Facts,
and that's where all the gangsters hung at, you know, yeah.
And she running that motherfucker.
And she ran that.
My great grandma dear.
Yeah, Miss Annie.
Miss Annie Lee.
Miss Annie Lilo.
Annie Lilo. Tell me about Annie Lilo. Yo, if you just put a memory out of thin air, whether you was grown, young, just give me just a memory, like I remember this about Annie Lilo. Or a story about Annie Lilo.
She would buy her money and she'll feed a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can attest for that. Every time I went around there,
yeah,
she definitely gonna give me like $6, and she gonna give me a bag full of just random shit to eat. Like there's gonna be some peanuts in that bitch, some chips, a drink, motherfucking. It may be maybe some meatloaf in that bag. You know what finna be in that bag she finna give me. Yeah. And I remember that. And she got that. I remember I got stung by a bee. Yeah. And she gave me some snuff to put on it.
Yeah, that'll get it. Yeah.
You feel me? She gave me some snuff to put on. So that Annie Lilo.
Yeah, but
man, so what's your favorite story about Annie Lilo?
You know, all her grandchildren hustle a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Know what that means.
Oh, that. You got that right.
So one day she asked me, man, I'm talking about, man, this probably like about 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what she said?
She said, Dick.
She called you Dick?
Yeah, she called me Dick. She said, Dick, I know all y'all sell that stuff. So how they take it? But I thought everybody knows you smoke.
Yeah.
She said, do they eat it?
She think they eat the crap.
I thought she know it everything. I was like, man,
She have the base on this.
Yeah.
So Collegeville, growing up in Collegeville in the 70s, what this shit talking about? In Collegeville in the 70s. How do Collegeville look in the 70s? Is the projects here?
Yeah, the projects there. But you know, by you being young and not knowing nothing about New York, you would think the project is something like New York or Chicago. How big it is.
Facts.
But now, I'm born in 70, so I'm gonna say like about 75 or 76. And I don't know how they moved like that back then, because I'm young. But they moved some kind of way, man. So
what you mean by who? Who moved? What you mean?
The neighborhood.
Okay.
I'm talking about it was like they were like Indians. What I mean by that is, by me being younger, my grandma came and told me, said, again, Dick, they finna shoot at the police. And this was actually this like 75 or 76.
So Madil come to you and say,
listen, man, isn't that what I'm trying to tell you? 3121 31st Avenue North is my address. But Pruitt Filling Station, it was across the street from where I lived at. And back then, I guess you'll be successful if you have a motorcycle, cause motorcycles you jumping then, back then, and boats. But now, you know, 5 or 6 years old, you seeing these dudes pull up. I'm talking about, you know, some of them got their hair permed to the back, yeah, real OGs.
Yeah.
Pulling up like that. But then a knife fight might break out. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this right here, though. My grandma said, Dick, so-and-so, up there in that tree.
In a tree.
In a tree. Yeah, the tree right there on 31st. Yeah, right there on 31st. And that's 37. Somebody on top of 37.
And they finna shoot the police.
Shot at them. That's what I'm trying to show you. So, you know.
So basically the community of Collegeville moving as one.
Man.
And everybody in the know. Because for her to come and tell you that you fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So she probably 40s. For her to come and tell you that she in the know.
But I know I got to listen to what she said.
Exactly. So the whole community is moving.
Yeah. And it's going down. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how they move.
So in the 70s, how was hood money getting made? Because you know, like I know from the 80s, 90s, I know how hood money getting made. It's on some street shit. Niggas trapping, selling weed. So what's going on in the 70s?
The Pier Gang, the T's and Blues.
I've heard about T's and Blues, but I don't know what the fuck that is though. What the fuck is T's and Blues?
Yeah, this about 78. I can remember this. This dude, I'm talking about for real, beat a dude with a baseball bat, man. Was selling in front of his house.
What's he selling?
T's and Blues.
He beat a nigga with it. Was he also selling T's and Blues, or he just don't want the traffic in front of his house?
No, he was selling. You ain't supposed to sold down there by him.
Oh, so
down.
He beat a nigga who shortstop.
Yeah.
With a baseball bat.
bat.
And you 8 years old and see this.
8 years old.
And where this happening?
In Collegeville.
What's about where?
I'm 34 down there by Carver, yeah. But now the same dude I'm talking about 1980. Some people probably ain't never seen the SWAT team. Have you ever seen the SWAT team? All right, well, I ain't talking to you then. But anyway,
I done seen more SWAT teams than you done seen.
But what I'm saying about the SWAT team.
I done probably seen more SWAT teams than you done seen.
Well, you probably seen more than me. But some people ain't never seen the SWAT team. But the same dude I'm talking about that beat the dude with
the bat,
SWAT team came to get him 1980. So we threw with that conversation.
The SWAT team came to get him in 1980.
1980.
Have you seen him since?
Huh?
Have you seen him since?
Oh, yeah, got out.
Okay.
Yeah, he got out.
Okay.
Yeah, they know who I'm talking about. But
all right. So you told me Collegeville in the 70s. Now let's get in the 80s.
Okay.
Let's say 1985. You walk outside.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say this. My life changed in 1980.
Your life changed in 1980?
10 years old.
You 10 years old. How did it change?
Magic City class.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
1980, I'm 10. So just say your role model was probably 16, 17.
Okay, facts.
And I never seen them dressed up. The boys were dressed up, and that kind of did something to me, man. Yeah.
Who's your role models when you 10? It don't matter if they didn't continue to be a role model, but at that time, who did?
Okay.
Who out with me?
Terry
Hope, Lord, that
Yeah.
He was on that 5 minutes of phone.
And there was another guy, man, went with my cousin. His name was Bob. They called him Champ.
I
don't
know Champ.
Yeah. But now them boys, you know, they was kind of like my role models, and just to see them, I'm like, I didn't understand at the time what was going on with that, because that's like a holiday. But when I celebrated it for real was like 1991.
Hold on. You're going too fast.
I'm just telling you. I'm talking about,
okay, so 1980. But before you get your feet wet in the game, who that nigga is, or those niggas, because you know it's never one nigga.
What you talking about?
Just 80s, like 80.
But now you know.
83. Okay, in 1985, who that nigga?
Okay.
In your section, in Collegeville, who that nigga? And you 15 years old.
Said 15 years old. I got to go back to Terry Hubbard.
Terry Hubbard, that nigga in 85.
I'm saying he was.
I love that bitch hard.
Yeah, he was one of them.
I love that bitch hard.
Yeah, man.
And 85, he one of them niggas.
He was one of them dudes. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
Love that bitch.
Yeah.
On that Houdini. Yeah. I love that bitch.
Had a neck full of gold jewelry.
Yeah.
Real gold. Yeah.
Hard. Goddamn hard. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Goddamn hard. Yeah. That's my nigga. Who that
he was coming in though off we just gonna try to be alright with Diego Granddad. Whoever Diego Granddad was.
Oh, the black Benz with the gold on it?
That dude.
Oh, so that's real? Shout out that bitch Yayo Jug, man. He come from a good lineage too, a good bloodline. Yeah, so that's true about him coming down.
Yeah.
Black Benz trimmed in real gold.
Real gold. Yeah.
Is he that?
He was that dude.
Oh, you seen that?
Pretty much.
Is he? Cause you know how some niggas be in the hood.
No myth, man.
No. I'm not asking. Is it a myth? You know how some niggas in the hood, you know they got that, they do that, but I rarely see them. Is he a presence in the hood every day? Is he a nigga who just, is like that?
I'ma say 85. Walking from the project, going down that alley by Pruitt store.
Mm-hmm.
But where I live, that is south. They ain't had the gates up there. You might see this dude, man. This is what he got on, man. This dude got on some hand leather, snakeskin Adidas, man. Said Stonewash jeans with a fur coat. Run DMC hat, gazelle glass, neck full of jewelry. Mercedes Benz out there on go. Acting a fool.
This not a movie. This is real life. I see this. That shit sound like a movie. This shit sound like a movie. This bitch is really that.
It really ain't no movie.
And God rest his soul too. Yeah. God rest his soul. He passed a few years ago. God rest his soul. But
ain't no movie.
He that.
He was that.
Okay, so at this same time, is my nigga them around the corner doing they 1 2 2, or that's before him?
Which niggas you
feeding them? Is feeding them around the corner doing their time?
About the same time.
So feeding them around the corner doing they 1 2 2.
I'ma say at this time, this was feeding them doing. Feeding them wearing ballads. For real, man.
In 85.
In 85, nigga. With the 6 jogging suits on, man. Yeah.
This how they coming.
In a little MGM drop top. Yeah. Then man. Hey man. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So
then, but see, I'ma say this though. I'ma say I don't know what it was, it probably was in the water though.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that rappers rapped about, we were living that jump for real.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
So at this time, you got a nigga up here. Hold on. Before I ask you that.
Yeah.
Is crack Al for real thing?
Yeah. But the stuff that rappers rapped about, we were living that jump for real.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
So at this time, you got a nigga up here. Hold on. Before I ask you that.
Yeah.
Is crack Al for real thing?
Yeah.
Is crack Al for real
crack? But you had a crack street before you had crack Al. And then it moved, yeah.
Where is Crack Street?
Crack Street was right there by Malcolm Park. They made the USA Today.
I know where Malcolm Park is, but where?
All right, just where the rent office at?
Where HABD is.
Yeah, where that's at.
Yeah.
But the gates ain't up.
Facts.
So you come from Norwood, you get to the light by Malcolm Park. Soon as you come through that light, make a left right there.
So that'd be like back in the horseshoe type shit.
Yeah, right before you get to the horseshoe.
I'm back at the horseshoe.
Yeah.
And that's Crack Street.
That was Crack Street. They made
Hold on, so you telling me the projects? Hold on, man. We getting money right here, man. They calling me. So you telling me the projects stretch from 32nd all the way to the light, like I'm coming from Norwood?
Well, you might as well say it came from by Norwood to 37.
Hold on. So if I'm at the park, at Macklin Park,
Yeah.
and look across the street, am I looking at projects?
Yeah, the project's still there.
No, they not. No, they not. The project is on 29th. On the
Okay, they ain't there.
Yeah.
You right.
So boom. So the project stretch that far.
I'm saying, I don't see how you missed it though. But now it ain't there because I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's not.
But
there.
it was 28th, yeah.
And that's Crack Street.
And that was Crack Street.
All right.